Am I audible to everyone?
Yes, sir.
Okay. So in the previous class, we have completed about the red blood cells. Today we're going to start about the white blood cells. Okay, WBC. So let's continue. White blood cells, WBC. Okay. White blood cells or WBC, first of all, also called as the leukocytes. Leukocytes. Okay. So you have to be very clear. Most of the students have the doubt that leukocytes and white blood cells are different thing. No, leukocytes and white blood cells are same thing, just different terms used. Okay. In the primary classes, we have already heard about the leucoplast. Okay, there we say the leucoplast as the plastids which are colorless. So the same term leuco is used here also just because white blood cells are colorless. Okay, so you can also remember this because the are colorless. Okay, leukocytes are colorless. Now, if we talk about the types of WBC or the leukocytes, then they are of two type. That is the granulocyte and agranulocyte. Okay, so granulocyte and agranulocyte are the types of blood vessels. And if we say on which behalf, these divisions are done of the granulocyte and agranulocyte, then we can say that basis of on the basis of nucleus and nature of cytoplasm. On the basis of nucleus, that how its type nucleus looks like, where what is the position of the nucleus inside the cell, and what is the nature of cytoplasm. Okay, according to that, leukocytes are divided into two, granulocyte and the agranulocyte. Okay, now before starting, we can go through some of the intro or the general knowledge about that. Maybe the question come from those things. TLC, you will going to see this term when you will going to reach into the medical college. Okay, other than most of the time, need to also ask about these questions. Okay, so TLC is nothing but it's quoted as total leukocyte count. As we have gone through the RBC count or the count of red blood cells, same here, white blood cell count is called as the total leukocyte count. And if we will go through that, what is the normal number of total leukocyte count, that is called as the number of WBCs per millimeter cube. Okay, and that is around 6,000 to 8,000 per millimeter cube. Okay, you can get this answer sometimes. And please remember, there is always a range present, not the uh, we can say a perfect statistic cannot be present. There will be some of the range. So range is 6,000 to 8,000. Other than, you can see plus minus 2,000 to 3,000 per millimeter cube, increase or decrease. Okay, this thing can happen. Now there are some of the terms which we have to be very clear about. First come leukocytosis. Okay, the term come leukocytosis. Let's understand about what the leukocytosis say. Leukocytosis say increase in TLC, means the total leukocyte count when increases This condition is called as the leukocytosis. And these conditions are increased in case of bacterial and viral infection. Okay, so when there is any bacterial or the viral infection, and when you will go through the CBC is the complete blood count. Okay, complete blood cell indices will taken when you go for the blood test. So they will going to prescribe you or advise you for the CBC, that is the complete blood count, and in that you will going to get the increment in TLC or the more range of TLCs. That is what a reason that condition is called as the leukocytosis. Now the next term called as the leukocytopenia. Leukocytopenia. Okay. So as the leukocytosis is called as the increase in TLC, leukocytopenia. When the word penia is coming, that means decrease in total leukocyte count. And some of the reasons behind the leukocytopenia are the typhoid, okay, and AIDS, acquired immunodeficiency syndrome. Okay, these can be some of the reasons behind the leukocytopenia. Then one more term comes called as the leukemia. Leukemia. Okay, and also we can call it as the blood cancer. Okay, so what the leukemia means, when there is increase in the TLC and decrease in the TLC in the limit. Okay, there always be a increase and decrease, but up to a limit. But when there is the abnormal increase beyond every limit, if there is abnormal increase in TLC, then you can call it as the blood cancer or the leukemia, and it is around more than 1 lakh. Okay, when the TLC increase more than 1 lakh, we know the normal is around 6,000 to 8,000. So when it will go beyond the 1 lakh or around the 1 lakh, we can tell to a particular person, then he may be suspect of leukemia or the blood cancer. Okay, so this is all about the small intro about the leukocyte. Let's talk about the main topic. That is, first we will go through the granulocyte. Granulocyte. Okay, before that, Karthike, am I audible to you?
Yes, sir.
Karthike, tell me, what do you mean by anisocytosis? Tell me soon. What do you mean by anisocytosis? We are doing a revision. Means you are studying the second time. So tell me soon, please. Shraddha, what do you mean by anisocytosis?
Red blood cell.
Uh, i- i- Anisocytosis is the medical term for having red blood cells that are unequal in size.
Again,
It is the medical term for having red blood cells that are unequal in size.
I'm not asking you about the definition given in the Google. I'm asking you that what anisocytosis I have taught you in the previous class. Anyone other than Shraddha?
Changes in size of RBC.
Change in size of RBC.
Very good. Anisocytosis means the change in the size. Okay. And what do you mean by the poikilocytosis?
Change in shape of
Change in
RBC.
shape of RBC.
Very good. Okay, now we're going to talk about the granulocyte. Those students who are not answering or answering just by seeing on the mobiles, please be clear. You are doing your loss. Okay, so start revising again. Other than you are digging yourself. Okay, now we are going to talk about the granulocyte. So granulocytes have, why they are called as granulocyte? We have granulocyte or agranulocyte. We have talked that on the basis of nucleus and the nature of cytoplasm. So let's talk about it. That what is the reason of granulocyte term? So you can see I am drawing one of the diagram of granulocyte. Okay. Students, please wait. Oh, I'm really sorry. There was an important call. Okay, so we are talking about the granulocyte. So I have drawn a diagram in front of you about the granulocyte. So you can see the different. If we talk about the nucleus, this is the nucleus. Okay. So the nature of nucleus, if we talk about, then it is multi-lobed. Multi-lobe means there is the lobe present and more than one lobe is present. So we are saying it is multi-lobe. Like this. This is lobe number 1, 2, 3. Okay, and maybe more than 3 also present. So multi-lobed in nature. Other than lobes are interconnected. Lobes are interconnected. We can see this is the interconnection. Okay, lobes are interconnected to each other. Other than if we talk about the cytoplasm, so you can see the cytoplasm, there is the there is the presence of granules in the cytoplasm. These blue I have drawn, these are granules. So granules are present in cytoplasm. Okay, so that is what a reason we are calling the granulocyte. Okay, cytoplasm granules are present, and these granules can be stained can be stained by specific dyes. Just to study them, we use different types of dyes and then we project them into the microscope. Okay, so as to study them well, or so as to see the TLC DLC. Okay, now we will move forward. After the granulocyte, we will going to talk about all different types of granulocyte. There are 5 different type of leukocytes present. So first we are going to talk about the granulocyte. Okay, these we have talked about the cytoplasm, we have talked about the nucleus. One more thing we can say, due to the presence of lobed nucleus, means the multi-lobed, there is the presence of lobes, multi-lobed nucleus. Okay, granulocytes are also called as polymorphonuclear polymorphonuclear WBCs, means these are those white blood cells which have poly, means the many different morphology of, okay, different morphology of nucleus. Okay, as I have already told you, lobes are present in the nucleus, so it can be 4 lobe, it can be 5 lobe, which are interconnected to each other. Ultimately it is a multi-lobed, and due to the presence of lobed nucleus, these types of granulocyte WBCs are also called as polymorphonuclear WBCs. Okay, and these granulocytes are produced in bone marrow. Okay, these granulocytes are produced in the bone marrow. So this is one of the intro. Let's move forward and talk about the different types of granulocytes. One thing you have to remember, granulocyte Ben. Okay, these are the terms or starting alphabet of different types of granulocyte. First come as the B for basophils. Okay, then come E for eosinophil. Eosinophil. Then N for neutrophil. These are 3 types of granulocyte. Okay, and let's see their different morphology also. Okay, so let's talk about this. So these are the structure I have made about the different types of granulocytes, basophils, eosinophils, and the neutrophils. Let's talk about first the basophil. So you can see mostly 2 to 3 lobe. Okay, like this 1, 2, and 3. Mostly 2 to 3 lobed basophils is present. 2 to 3 lobed basophils are. Okay, 2 to 3 lobe. Next, they are mostly present in S shape. S-shaped nucleus. Okay, 2 to 3 lobed S-shaped nucleus. Now, if we talk about the functioning about the basophils, that what is the function of basophil, then it is responsible for secretion. It secrete and transport. It secrete and transport heparin, histamine, heparin, histamine, and serotonin. These are the different types of chemicals present in our body, in our blood. Heparin is one of the anticoagulant. Means heparin is responsible for preventing the clot formation inside our body, because we want that our blood should be clotted outside body, not inside body. If the blood will be clot inside the body, then no circulation will going to take place. Okay, so heparin anticoagulant is present inside the blood, and its secretion and transport is done by the basophils. Like that only histamine and serotonins are the inflammatory mediators. Okay, you will going to study about them in the medical college. Okay, I have already told some of my students about the inflammation. Do anyone know what is inflammation?
Heat, swelling, redness.
Yeah, you are going right. When you will going to talk about the what is happening. Okay, inflammation. So what we are saying, that whenever we will going to talk about the inflammation, the four main things which comes under the inflammation, first come as the swelling, then comes as the red color, then comes the pain and heat. Heat. Okay, first of all you have to be very clear about the inflammation, that inflammation is protective mechanism of our body. Okay, we humans, inside our body there is the presence of the protective mechanism. Means whenever you have seen, you got to any type of injuries, okay, any type of injury, then you will going to see these characteristics. Means swelling, whenever you will got injured at that place of the look and the injury site. Okay, if you're in your hand there is injury, you can see there is this presence of swelling, red color, pain is also present, and that area will be at more temperature, means heated as compared to other areas surrounding it. Okay, so these all characteristics when combinedly called as the combined, then it will be called as the inflammation. Okay, and whenever the word ITIS, whenever you will going to see these four alphabet behind any of the term, it is representing inflammation. Means I can give you example like appendicitis. Okay, means there is the presence of vermiform appendix below the colon in the digestive system. We have already gone through this one time. Okay, we will also gone through in the revision. So appendicitis means the inflammation of appendix. Okay, so these all things we will going to see in that. So the mediators means which are responsible for the inflammations, which will go up to the particular injury site, and they will going to help to start the inflammation that particular site. Okay, so those are called as inflammatory mediators, and some of the name of inflammatory mediators are histamine and serotonin. Okay, Let's remove this. We have to talk about the granulocyte. Okay, so we are talking about the secretion and transport of heparin, histamine, serotonin is done by the basophils. And next point you have to remember about this, that basophils are least in number. Least in number. At your level, you have no much information about the TLC and DLC, but TLC, as I have told you just earlier, the TLC means the total leukocyte count. In that total leukocyte count, you will going to count all different types of uh, WBCs combinedly. Okay, we will not say that basophils are somewhat this in number or neutrophils are in this number. We will just say leukocyte means we are combining all different types of WBCs. But when we will do the DLC means the differential leukocyte count. Differential means you will going to talk about different type of leukocytes. Okay, so when the differential leukocyte count is done, then we will going to write the percentage or the amount of particular WBC is present. Means you will going to talk about the basophil, then you will going to talk about the neutrophil, then you will going to talk about the eosinophil, like this. That is called as DLC, differential leukocyte count. Okay, so when the differential leukocyte count is done, then there is the presence of basophils in the least in number. Okay, as compared to all other WBC, they are least in number. Okay, in the normal functioning, when there is different types of infection, normal functioning of the body, maybe the basophils can come in the more amount. Okay, but they are around only 0 to 1. Okay, 0 to 1 basophils in one film. Okay, you will going to study about this in the medical college. Let's talk about the eosinophil. Okay, so you can see eosinophil is bilobed. 1 minute, wait. What is happening? Am I audible?
Yes, sir.
Okay. So let's continue. We are talking about the eosinophil. Okay. So as you can see, the structure of the nucleus in the eosinophil, it is looking like the spectacle. Okay. So that is what a reason. First of all, it is bilobed. In the eosinophil, you will going to get the nucleus, which is bilobed in nature. Other than bilobed, it is spectacle shape. स्पेक्टेकल शेप्ड, चश्मे के शेप का होता है, spectacle shaped in nature. Okay, now as we have seen about the functioning of the basophils, that it secretes the and transport the heparin, histamine and serotonin, same type eosinophils also have their functioning, that they they protect body against allergy and parasitic infections. Allergy and parasitic infections. Very clear about whenever is any allergy is present in your body, okay, and or the parasitic infection, and you have gone for the blood investigation, okay, blood examination, then you will going to get the increase in the number of eosinophils, okay, that is called as eosinophilia. Okay, then there is the increase in the number of eosinophil in the blood film, then you will call it as the eosinophilia, and you can see them during the allergy or the parasitic infection inside your body. So if we can see some of the examples are ascariasis. Okay, there is one of the parasite that is called as the ascaris lumbricoids. Ascaris lumbricoids, that is responsible for ascariasis. Okay, then comes the hay fever. We have already gone through this in the human health and disease. Okay, and one of the again parasitic infection comes called as the teniasis. Okay, that is there different type of parasite, Taenia solium, Taenia saginata. These are different types of parasites which are present, which are responsible for the teniasis. So in the ascariasis, hay fever, and teniasis, you will going to get the eosinophilia. Eosinophilia. Eosinophilia means the increase in number of eosinophil. Okay, so this is all about the eosinophils. Let's talk about the neutrophils. Okay, so you can see as compared to basophil and the eosinophil, neutrophils are more lobed, means they are around 3 to 5 lobed. Okay, they are around 3 to 5 lobed. Now, one more thing, they are phagocytic in nature. Phagocytic in nature. Do anyone know about the phagocytosis? What the phagocytosis means? Anyone?
Killing of microbes.
Killing of
Microbes.
killing of microbes or any type of the foreign material. Okay, or we can call this as the antigen, as we have gone through the human health and disease. Okay, so any foreign material which will act as the antigen, means the foreign to the body, then the phagocytic cells. Any name of the phagocytic cells?
Macrophage.
Macrophages are the phagocytic cells which are responsible for the killing of these types of foreign material or the harmful material which is present inside our body. Okay, so these neutrophils are also phagocytic in nature. Okay, one of the phagocytic cells. So you can now remember two types of phagocytic cells, macrophage and neutrophils. You have two examples. Okay, so they are phagocytic in nature, so mainly responsible for destroying bacteria and viruses, means the microbes. Okay, these are different types of microbes: bacteria, viruses, fungi, protozoas. Okay, these are different types of microbes. So that is what a reason that neutrophils are also called as micro policemen. Okay, micro policemen of blood. Neutrophils are also called as the micro policemen of the blood. So this is all about the granulocyte, different types of granulocyte. This much is sufficient for you: basophils, eosinophils, neutrophils, and all just small information about them. Okay, let's move forward. We're going to talk about the agranulocyte. Okay, let's talk about agranulocyte. So there are some of the points you have to remember about the agranulocyte: that cytoplasm is clear. Okay, we have already told you, I have already told you that granulocyte and agranulocyte differentiation has been done on the basis of nature of cytoplasm and nucleus. So first of all, we will talk about the cytoplasm. Cytoplasm is clear and agranular. No granules are present. Agranular. Okay. Then talk about the nucleus. So nucleus is not divided into lobes. Okay, there is no division present as present in the granulocytes. So that is what a reason when we are talking about the multi-lobed structure or lobed nucleus, sorry, lobed nucleus in the granulocyte, we have also given them one of the name that is called as polymorphonuclear WBCs. But in the agranulocyte, these are called mononuclear, not poly. Poly is granular. So mononuclear WBC. Okay, agranulocytes are called as mononuclear WBC. These are also produced in bone marrow. Okay, these are also produced in bone marrow. And if we talk about it, yeah, the types of granulocyte, type of agranulocytes. So in the granulocyte, we have seen three types, but in granulocyte, there are only two types, that is monocyte and lymphocyte. Okay, so these are two different types of agranulocyte, monocyte and the lymphocytes. Let's draw their structure. Okay, so as we have talked, we have to talk about the nucleus and cytoplasm. The first, if we talk about the monocyte nucleus, you can see it is kidney, or we can say bean shaped nucleus. Kidney and bean shaped nucleus. Now we talk about the monocyte, that what they are doing. So they are the scavengers. They work as the scavengers. Scavengers of whom? Scavengers of blood. Why scavengers of blood? Because they engulf. Because they engulf damaged, or we can say dead cells, or you can say immature cells, dead cells of blood corpuscles. Okay, so any of the cell which are dead or damaged, or you can say immature, not completely mature, not completely growth has taken place, so they are of no use inside the blood. So these monocytes will going to work as the scavenger, and they will going to engulf those dead cells or the damaged cells. Okay, this is about the monocytes. And if we are going to talk about the lymphocytes, so you can say large nucleus is present, large nucleus is present, and to which large nucleus, to which cytoplasm becomes peripheral. Okay, what is exactly happening? I will draw it more for you. Like this, nucleus is like this, and due to present of large nucleus, all the cytoplasm is shifted towards the periphery. Okay, periphery of the cell, because large nucleus is present in the center, so cytoplasm is towards the periphery. You can appreciate about this lymphocyte when you will going to see them in the microscope when you will reach to your medical colleges. Okay, you can see them. So there are different types of lymphocytes present, as we all know. The first names come as the T lymphocytes, or we can say as the T killer. Okay, then comes as the T helper, then comes as the B lymphocytes, then T suppressor. And I think so, I don't have to tell you again about the functioning of T killer, T helper, B lymphocytes, and T suppressor. You all know all about that. Okay, so T killer is responsible for direct killing of microbes. T helpers stimulate for activations. B lymphocytes, it produce the antibodies, and T suppressor, we know it suppress the killing of self cells. Okay, T suppressor controls the T killer, T helper. Okay, we all already know about it because we have already gone through the human health and disease chapter. Okay, so this much is about today. From the next class, we will going to start about the platelets. Okay, and after completing the platelet, we will move towards the small part of the circulation, types of circulation. Okay, so this much is about today. I am concluding here only. Anyone have any doubt regarding today's lecture? Anyone?
No, sir.
No, sir.
Okay, fine. So then I am concluding here only. Thank you, everyone.